Hey, you guys, what's going on? So, I had this idea that I wanted to start doing these things, I guess, called like Freedom Fridays. And I said I was going to start at the beginning of the summer, but here it is, the middle of the summer. So today I'm going to start. So I'm always about women being everything that they can be, right? And part of that is being free, like, being able to walk in the freedom that you have. So what made me really say, okay, for real, I'm going to do one today is because my daughter, she made me this little cup, right? And you guys probably can't see it because the lettering is kind of light, but it says sipping with purpose. Because everything I do, I'm always talking about purpose and being intentional, and things like that. And so in this particular case, I was like sipping with purpose. Okay. Because my daughter's even seeing like everything that I do and I say, I'm always like, okay, what's the purpose behind it? What's the meaning? Not that you can't have fun in life and, do things like kind of like haphazardly sometimes, but when you're making like big decisions and meaningful decisions, what is the purpose? So that's what I started thinking about, like decisions, like in our decision making process. And of course, like when we were in our 20s, you can make some kind of like haphazard decisions and they might not turn out so bad. But sometimes you make some, you like, dang, if I would have really took a minute to think this thing through, I wouldn't have got the XYZ result that I didn't want. If I would have stepped back and took a few minutes, I would have made a better decision and I would have got the ABC result that makes me happy. Woohoo. So I guess I just want to pop on and say, when you are making like real decisions, you need to kind of think 2, 3, even 4 steps ahead of, if I make this decision today, what is this going to look like later? What is step 2? Okay, now this is step 1. I'm making a decision. What is step 2, 3, 4 going to look like? And is it going to be a favorable result? Is it going to be something that I'm going to say, okay, so that's one of the best decisions I made? Or are you going to sit back and say, if I would have just, and especially once you get over 30, you don't want to have a whole lot of if I would have just. You want to really just be like making some purposeful decisions. So even like if you're, going to quit a job, you want to be purposeful about it. So your job might be like, you up to here. You're like really ready to like throw it all away. And somebody say something to you and that's like your last. You don't even want to give a 2-week notice. You like, today is the day. I quit. And even though, we should give a 2-week notice, in some instances it is, okay to be like, no, this is really it, because I'm not going to cross this bridge again. I never want to cross this bridge again. But for the most part, we give a 2-week notice. But even in giving a 2-week notice, you want to make sure you sit down and say, okay, if I quit my job today, what is tomorrow going to look like? What is 2 weeks from now going to look like? What is 5 months from now going to look like? What is a year going to look like? 3 years, 5 years. So you don't want to just make these just random off the hand decisions. And especially like if by chance there are any younger people just happen to view this video, even when you are making like these little fly by night decisions in the moments, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all better start counting these costs like, okay, if I do this today, it's going to feel good right now. I'm all in my flesh. I'm all about it. Let's go. And then you might have some real consequences because of this one little action. I'm talking about long term, lifestyle changing, life event changing, lifetime changing consequences that won't necessarily prevent you from getting everything you want out of life, but it might make it a little bit harder. It might make it a lot bit harder. And so I'm just saying all this to say, I don't want to give like any specifics, but I just really want people to be purposeful in the decisions that we are making, because I am telling you, I have made some decisions that I'm just like, oh, if I would have just waited, or if I would have just, let this flesh like die to this flesh a little bit and just do it a different way, I could have had some different results. Not that you can't recover. You can always recover, but why go through recovery if you don't have to? Why not just kind of to do it, not even the right way, but the best way for you to get the best end result, as opposed to just whatever and then having to deal with the consequences later. So That's all I got to say. I just want to welcome you guys to Freedom Friday. I'm really going to promise to try to drop on here every Friday and just give like some little just wisdom, even if it's just from my own experience that may help someone out there to get free from something. I don't know.